I am going to share a very special recipe with you. A recipe that I used to do years ago, but I don't do it now. I haven't done it in a while. And we are going to be making some light fruit cake because I had my fruits all done up from last year. So these are my fruits from last year. So we are going to be doing this. This is the fruits that you would use if you're making ordinary Christmas cake, you know, like the black cake, the great cake, all the different names that we have for it. And in Barbados, what I used to do is just used to do a light fruit cake because I was not a lover of the great cake. So I am going to share that recipe with you now. I was invited to lunch tomorrow. So this cake is supposed to take for that lunch tomorrow. So we will be baking the cake, and then I will be making some icing to put on the cake, which I would show you as well. Some cream cheese icing. This is also a cake that we use in Barbados around the Christmas season. So I hope that you enjoy this recipe. I have my oven preheating at 375, and this time I did something that I would always see my grand do, and that is I put a little container to the bottom of the oven with some water, and that regulates the heat. So we will see how this cake turns out. But before we go any further, let me show you what I have here. It is just a basic cake recipe. So let me show you the ingredients. The ingredients I have here, I have 3.5 cups of flour. I have 6 eggs here. I have probably 3/4 cup of sugar because the fruits have sugar. So I didn't want to put too much sugar in it, but 3/4 cups of sugar. I have 3 sticks of butter. You can use 2.5 sticks of butter if you want. I have my baking powder here. Not really putting any baking soda today, but I have my salt and some almond essence and some vanilla essence. So these are our ingredients, and is already sifted. And the reason we sift the flour is to get out any lumps and bumps and make it all fluffy. And I'm just gonna use my whisk. So this is my butter that I'm going to add in here now. And this butter is already softened at room temperature. All right. That is softened at room temperature. You could leave it out for about 3 to 4 hours and it will come down nicely. And the eggs are also at room temperature. And this is salted butter, so I would not be adding too much salt in it. And our butter is already in the pan. And now we are going to add our sugar. And as I told you, and I'm using the white sugar today. And for those of you that have been with me for a while, know that I'm not a lover of white sugar, but this is only something that I do maybe once a year. So we have added the butter and the sugar in our mixing bowl, and we are going to let that do its thing now for a little bit, and I will crack my eggs in my container. We will just add our eggs one at a time. A lot of the times what I like to do is mix the eggs and the essence, and oops, two went in, but that's okay. Let that do its thing. While that is mixing, I'm just gonna put a teaspoon of almond essence in my eggs. Ooh, that almond essence smells so nice. And teaspoon and a half of my vanilla essence. And then we're going to continue to add our eggs. Two keep going in, but that's okay. Scrape the sides so that we can get everything off the sides. Ooh, it smells so good, and it looks. I give y'all the joke of my first time baking cake. It was a sponge cake, and it was so nice. Ooh, smell that aroma. It was so nice and moist and everything. Guess what? I forgot to put in the flour, and I put it in the oven to bake. Y'all can guess what happened there. That was like, I was very disappointed because that was a lot of work. I was 13 years old, and that was a lot of work. We have added our eggs to the batter. The next thing that we are going to do is we are going to get our fruits. I have not even smelled these fruits, turned them over, nothing, but we are going to get our fruits and we're going to mix it a little bit more. And I like this texture better using the whisk. Ooh, y'all want to smell these fruits? Smell these fruits. Oh, they smell so good. This is a whole year of fruits. So we are gonna put in, you can put in how much ever you want, but I'm gonna put in this serving spoon. I'm gonna put in about three of these and see how it goes. Ah, that smells so nice. All right. And this is it. We are going to let that just fold in. That looks so good. And if you wanted this to get some more color or something like that, you could put a little bit of gravy browning, some browning in this. You could put some molasses in this. I already put so much sugar, I don't want to put any molasses right now. But Or maybe, you know what? We could put a little bit of molasses. What do you think? We could put a little bit of molasses. I don't think it would hurt. So let's do that. For all of you that have been here with me for a while knows that I love Grandma's molasses because I use this all the time. I have some of the blackstrap molasses as well. That is probably a tablespoon and a half of molasses I put in there. But let me taste these fruits. Fruits taste so good. Oh my gosh. So the molasses just give it that extra color. All right, so I have my flour in my container here. I'm just gonna put in a teaspoon of salt, because as I always tell y'all, you can put in, but you can't take out. My baking powder, so I'm going to put in like 3 teaspoons of baking. Yeah, that was a little less. 3 teaspoons of baking powder. All right, and we will whisk this all together now. Get it all mixed in. And I am going to change my, because I'm going to be folding in the flour now. So I'm just going to change my attachment. So we're just folding in the flour, and don't have the mixer too high, because if you have the mixer too high, because that has happened to me before, if you have the mixer too high, it would fly everywhere. Everywhere, you would see flour everywhere. All right, we have our pans, and we are just gonna lightly spray these pans. And then we are going to add our batter in. So we are not gonna fill it too full. We're gonna have it like halfway or so to give it space to raise. I hope that I have enough batter for these 2 pans, because I want to do a top and bottom layer. Oh well, whatever we have is what we'll do. All right, that looks even. That looks even, Stephen. So we are just gonna pop these in the oven now. You know me, I don't like to waste things. That's a lot of batter there. So this is our light fruit cake from scratch. And it looks lovely. We will see how it comes out. Okay, so I'll be right back. We're going to be making our icing for the cake. So let's start to make our icing. So I'm just putting 1 egg in here. And as you can see, I'm only putting the white, right? Can you see? I'm only putting the white. And 1, 2, 3 cups of powder sugar. If we need more, we will put in more. But I am going to be putting a spoonful of our butter, and this is the Irish butter that I'm going to be putting in. This consistency is good because I don't want it too runny, neither do I want it too hard. I seen it and stuff like that on this cake. And now this is the bottom layer. It's nice and flat. So we are going to put a layer between the 2 cakes to hold them together. And the icing is a great consistency. It's not too hard, it's not too soft. Then we are going to take this cake and just drop it on top of this one and hope that it does not slide off. It should hold together. The icing should bind it together shortly. And we are just, I am not like a cake expert where icing and stuff like that is concerned, but when the children were small, I used to do a little thing because we couldn't afford to buy cakes. So I used to do a little thing and they loved it.